Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamans tyaktva sarvana sheshataha manasaivendriyagramam vinyamya samantata. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind.
Yeah. So, if all of you have revised what we did in the last class, Krishna is talking all about sense control. He says that for any kind of yoga means yugat. Remember we did that word, means control, regulation. So unless you control your mind, yuktahar. Yukta is the word. Yukta means to control. If in the 17th verse, if you remember, we did yuktahar viharasya. And yukta means regulated, controlled. So ahar, controlled eating, controlled entertainment, controlled work, even excessive work to maintain your family, to earn your living, has to be controlled, not atyahar. It should be yuktahar. So similarly, in this verse again, 24th, Krishna is saying that one should be controlled in their senses, but how? With determination and faith, because you will not get instant results. And therefore, to sustain you on this path, first you need determination and then you need faith to wait for the results to come. And thirdly, not to be deviated from the path. कि चलो ये तो यहाँ तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा, चलो कुछ और कर लेते हैं. Okay? And then one should abandon without exception. मतलब उसमें categories ना बना के कि इतना चल जाएगा, इसको रख लेते हैं, उसको छोड़ देते हैं. All, everything should be abundant. What? Material desires born of mental speculation. What does that mean? That anything which is not according to authorized Shastra should be abandoned completely, and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. So I'll quickly read the purport. Is everybody able to hear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. So the yoga practitioner should be determined and he should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance. Pursue this course. We are doing a course. We are doing a Bhagwad Gita practical application course. So जैसे कोविड में 15 दिन का उन्होंने कोर्स हमें प्रिस्क्राइब किया था that you must have these medications, you must use this process and this course, then only at the end can you get the desired result. Similarly, in this Bhakti Yoga course, everything has to be done without exception. Nothing should be left out. Whatever is being prescribed, everything should be done. How? With great perseverance, not becoming discouraged, without getting discouraged, with patience. Perseverance means patience. If there is any delay in the attainment of success, be patient. And then what does Prabhupada say? Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. What do we mean here? For the serious practitioners. That's the whole purpose of making this group also. That henceforth, if you are serious in your practice, you will get results. Success is sure. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a hobby. And hobbies never get give you desired results. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rup Goswami says that one can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination. What are these three? Utsah, Nishchayat, Dhairya. By following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. This is Updeshamrit, Nectar of Instruction, third verse. So, what are these activities in goodness? The four regulative principles: waking up in the morning, chanting 16 rounds, no tea, coffee, onion, garlic, no intoxication of any kind. I learned a couple of people in our group even drink wine occasionally in social gatherings. So, all these things at least should be stopped with a goal in mind, that I'm not saying stop them from today, but fix a goal for yourselves. By this time, I'm going to give up these things. This is called executing Bhakti Yoga in the mode of goodness with Utsah, Nishchayat, and Dhairya. If you do this, success is sure for the rigid practitioner. This is a line to be written in your notes. Rigid practitioner, which means no shortcuts. Do as is being told by the acharyas, by Rup Goswami. As for determination, one should follow the example of, very beautiful example Prabhupada has given. An example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of the ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. So the sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. Can you imagine a small sparrow challenged the mighty ocean? Such was her determination. The ocean did not even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. Now, this is Nishchayat. First, Utsah, her determination that I will get it back from the ocean, no matter if he's a million times bigger in size and stronger in size than me. That was not even a consideration for the sparrow. So that was determination. Then Utsah, Nishchayat. Nishchayat, where she says that, okay, she not only that, she challenged him. She said, okay, I'm going to she decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. चोंच में उठा के ही बूंद बूंद मैं आपको सुखा दूंगी. Where is this conviction coming from? The news of her activity spread, and at last Garud, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate towards his small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garud was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus Garud at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. And the ocean was frightened at this, and he returned the eggs. Thus the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garud. This is what Prabhupada means, that success is sure for the rigid practitioner. If you don't give up, how much ever difficult it seems, how much ever far the goal seems, if you don't give up, you have complete faith in the process and you do exactly as the process is being described, success is sure. Similarly, the practice of yoga, especially Bhakti Yoga and Krishna consciousness, may appear to be a very difficult job. But if everyone follows the principles with great determination, then the Lord helps, because God helps those who help themselves. So, do you think कि गरुड़ के कानों तक ये बात ऐसे ही पहुंच गई? No, this was Vishnu's arrangement. Vishnu saw the determination of that small sparrow. It was an impossible task. She just never gave up. So, because she was helping herself, struggling so much by herself, God helps those who help themselves. He sent Garud, go help my devotee. Although she was doing it for her children. Here, this example is being done, is being given to us to have that same feeling for bhakti yoga. Because please remember, we are all alone ultimately on this path. We are absolutely alone. Don't get fooled. Just because you are sitting in a house protected nicely by your family, your bank balance, your children, husband, parents, don't be fooled that these are the people who are giving you protection and you're safe. Everything can just vanish in months. And we are absolutely alone in this world on this path, approaching our death. So we should take up this Bhakti Yoga process very, very seriously. Not only will it protect us, also it will protect the family that we are living in, because they are the ones who are also serving us by taking care of us. So when Krishna sees our determination, he's not just going to bless you, he's going to bless all those connected with you. Clear? Next verse.
शनैः शनैरुपरमेत् बुद्धया धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंसतं मनः कृत्वा न किञ्चित् अपि चिन्तयेत्. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else.
If you remember, we have used this word many times. Shanay Shanay means slowly, slowly, step by step, gradually, gradually, dheere, dheere. Rome was not built in a day. You will get results one step at a time. So, by proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. This is called pratyahar. The mind being controlled by conviction, meditation, and cessation from the senses should be situated in trance or samadhi. At that time, there is no longer any danger of becoming engaged in the material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with matter, as long as the material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of the Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness. So इसमें प्रभुपाद ये बता रहे हैं कि भले ही हमें ये शरीर मिला है और हमें ये 5 इंद्रियां मिली हैं, लेकिन इन इंद्रियों को भोगने में मत लगाओ, इन इंद्रियों को कंट्रोल करके रखो. Then Krishna consciousness will become easy. Don't be fooled कि ये body मिली है हमें enjoyment के लिए. Just because I have got this body, I can use, the eyes to do whatever I want, the mouth to eat whatever I want, and the nose to smell whatever I want. Don't be fooled. Keep them tightly controlled in yuktahar viharasya. Then Krishna consciousness will become easy. So our senses are to be not to be exploited. Just because हमें ये freedom मिला हुआ है, कौन देख रहा है? I am the master of my body. I can do whatever I want. Don't be fooled by this. Because actually, Maya is making us feel that we are the controller of our senses. But actually, those senses are controlling you. Because your mind is, Prabhupada makes a very nice statement that actually, just a minute. He says that the senses are just assistants of the mastermind. Actually, the real master is the mind. और माइंड के जो नौकर चाकर हैं वो हैं ये इंद्रियां, पांचों इंद्रियां, not पांच, 7, the 5 senses, and then intelligence and false ego also. All of them are subordinate assistants to the mastermind. So to be under the direction of the mind के अगर कंट्रोल के अंडर रहोगे मतलब आप अपनी सेंसेस के कंट्रोल में हो, वो आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है, आप उनके कंट्रोल में हो. And if you can control the mind, then you will automatically not be under the control of the senses. You can control your senses also. So this is all a mind game. So Prabhupada says material life means that one is controlled by the mind or the senses. इसी को भौतिक जीवन कहते हैं. भौतिक जीवन does not mean that soul, atma, all the time talking about atma and soul. That's not what it means. It means that all the time you are being controlled by your mind and you are trying to enjoy these senses, और एक tug of war चल रहा है between you and the mind. The mind is telling you to do something. 95% of the time we obey. चलो यार कह रहा है, इतनी देर से मन कर रहा है तो कर ही लेते हैं. This means mind is the master, you are the servant. और हमें क्या करना है? माइंड की 95% ऑफ द टाइम्स बात नहीं माननी है और अपनी बात मनमानी है. वो कैसे होगा? अगर यहीं पे इसी का मतलब है कंट्रोल. जब आप अपने आप को कंट्रोल कर रहे हो मतलब आप माइंड को बॉस बनने नहीं दे रहे. You are rejecting the bossism of the mind. Therefore, a controlled mind or a controlled lifestyle is actually making you the boss. और लोग बिल्कुल उलट समझ रहे हैं. They are thinking कि rules और regulations में मत पड़ो, ये शास्त्रों के चक्कर में मत पड़ो, लाइफ एंजॉय करनी भूल जाओगे. There will be no rasa left in your life. But what they are not realizing is that you are actually becoming the slave of your mind. So, and Prabhupada तो यहाँ तक कहते हैं, although this does not apply to us, but Prabhupada के usually सारे lectures अपने brahmacharis के लिए होते थे. So he said that determination, इस verse में he is saying उत्साह, निश्चय, धैर्य. So nishchayat means determination, and Prabhupada says determination can be attained actually by one who does not indulge in sex life, or it is regulated sex life. So, okay, next verse.
यतो यतो निश्चलति मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरं ततो ततस्ततो नियम्यैत्यद् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्. From whenever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी.
Just a minute.
हाँ हाँ, मेरे को लगा कट गया लाइन.
Can someone read the purport, please?
वाई जी परपट पढ़े.
Okay. The nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls the mind and therefore the senses as well is called Goswami or Swami, And one who's controlled by the mind is called Godasa, or the servant of the senses. A Goswami knows the standard of sense happiness. In transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesha, or the supreme owner of the senses, Krishna. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the senses under full control. What is more, that is the highest perfection of yoga practice.
Yeah, sorry. So we are at
Verse 26.
26. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. This is what we hear when we are chanting. And जब आप जाप करने बैठते हैं, the mind will run away. कोई बात नहीं. Don't worry. All you have to do is, as soon as you realize that you are running away, you're not with the mantra, catch the mind, bring it back. And even if you have to do this, say, like 1,000 times, 2,000 times, it's okay. Just do it and keep on doing it. Krishna is saying, he's directly saying, from wherever the mind wanders, due to its flickering and unsteady nature, ये nature है mind का. It will run away. It has been designed by Krishna only to run away. But he's saying you must certainly withdraw it, bring it back under the control of the self. And then the genius of Prabhupada, he is giving you a very nice tip on how to do it. क्योंकि कितनी बार लेकर आए वापस बार-बार. So what is he saying? He is quoting again Updeshamrit, first verse by Rup Goswami. आप लोग सब अपने अपने फोन्स पे वो निकाल सकते हो. वाचो वेगम मन क्रोध वेगम. What is Prabhupada saying? That whoever is under the control of the senses is a godas. Go मतलब senses और उसके दास मतलब जो mind कहता है आप उसके पीछे पीछे भागते हो उसको पूरा करने के लिए. But one has to become a Goswami. Swami matlab you do not listen to the mind. In fact, Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to say, रोज सुबह उठ के 100 चप्पल मारो अपने mind को. Literally चप्पल उठा के सिर पे मारो 100 times सुबह. और फिर रात को सोने से पहले भी उसको 100 जूते मारो. To the mind. This is how the mind should be treated. और हम माइंड को इतना पैम्पर करते हैं, इतनी उसकी बात सुनते हैं, उसको राजा महाराजा बना के रखते हैं. Therefore we are unhappy because the mind is an unsatisfied master. अब जितना उसका कहना मानोगे उसकी डिमांड्स बढ़ती जाएंगी. It is not going to tell you even a single day, today I am satisfied. Hence, what are the acharyas telling us? Become a Goswami. How? If you see this verse, Nectar of Instruction, verse 1, there are 6 kinds of vegam. Vegam matlab, वेग मतलब very strong force. कहते हैं ना पानी का वेग बहुत strong था और उसमें हम बह गए. The current of the river was so strong कि आप swim नहीं कर पाते उसमें when the current is very strong. Then your swimming expertise will fail. You will just flow away. It will drag you along with its direction. So similarly, there are 6 such forces, vegams, in each of our lives because of this body. इस body के 6 वेग हैं. कौन से? वाचो वेगम. सबसे पहला. The tendency to talk. Oh my God, this tendency is so prominent in women. So prominent. Men में भी है, but for women, vacho vegam. It is the pushing, unnecessary talking. Now we may say, oh, but I don't talk unnecessarily. I just talk whatever is required. So उसकी definition भी आचार्य दे रहे. If you're not talking connected to the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord, or if you're not talking regarding the spreading of the holy name or discussing Krishna consciousness, or if you're not talking about how you can help your family become Krishna conscious, everything else is nonsense. It will come in Vacho Vegam only. Okay? So, Vacho Vegam, unnecessary talking. Manasa Krodha Vegam. Manasa, mind. Mind ka force, the pushing of the mind, and Krodha Vegam, the pushing of anger. Anger, naak pe baitha rehta hai. The moment things don't go our way, anger, the head of the snake of anger stands up. Okay? So, now if you are angry, you cannot check yourself, and you can do something that you don't want to do. Even killing हो जाती है कई बार, वो भी अपनों की ही. Yesterday I was reading. माँ ने बेटे को गेम खेलने से मना किया और बेटा shot his mother. He must be regretting. कल परसों की न्यूज़ आई है. He must be really crying and regretting now, today. But at that time, because he was in anger, he could not take the right decision. An angry mind is a ruthless master. So, Vacho Vegam, Manas Krodha Vegam. Then, Jihva Vegam. Jihva means tongue. Can I eat this? बहुत दिन हो गए वो नहीं खाया. Prabhupada says, the way, okay, we'll come to the solution later. First, let's just see Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, then Jihva Vegam. You want to eat and drink and suck and lick all the time palatable things. Then Udara Vegam. Udar means stomach, because all these three are in a straight line. From the tongue, you come down a little, comes the Udar, the belly. And then Udar Upastha Vegam. What is Upastha? The genitals. ये तीनों एक straight line में है. भगवान ने इनको एक linear form line में बनाया. Mouth ऊपर आता है, सबसे पहले आता है, उसके बाद stomach आता है, and then come genitals. So if the mouth can be controlled, the stomach and the genitals automatically get controlled. This is science. This is spiritual, biological, practical, material science. Try it. The moment you lock your mouth, all your stomach problems and stomach-related diseases get sorted. And automatically, the sex urges and impulses also get regulated and controlled. So therefore, there is so much stress on eating prasad, eating prasad, eating prasad. That's the only way to control the demands of this tongue. Prasad starts purifying. And Prabhupada says this includes not eating at restaurants, not eating from mithai walas, because we are talking about vegetarian food. हम तो ये भी बात नहीं कर रहे कि non-veg छोड़ दो या onion garlic छोड़ दो. We are assuming कि ये तो हम कर ही रहे हैं. जिस टाइम ये बोला गया, ये verses जिस टाइम लिखे गए 500 वर्ष पहले, there was no onion garlic in the whole of India. Specifically वो बोलने की बताने की जरूरत ही नहीं थी. North to south, east to west. 500 साल पहले के अगर आप menus और recipes देखो, हर culture में, चाहे वो मराठी है, पंजाबी है, Gujarati hai, South Indian hai, they did not have onion garlic in their food naturally. Yet, Rup Goswami is writing this. So what does he mean? We're talking about vegetarian food also not to be eaten. दुकानों से, मिठाई की दुकानों से, vegetarian restaurants से क्यों नहीं खाना है? Because there is so much karma of the cooks that has gone into it, and the cooks have no four regulative principles in place. So all their manashas, all their mentalities are transferring to you through the food. How can you keep your mind controlled when you eat this uttejit food? Therefore mana kiya jata hai. So, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udar upastha vegam. Okay? All these are the 6 pushings. These are the 6 pushings. If you can control all 6 of them, then automatically your mind gets controlled. You can just control your tongue, mind will become your servant instead of you becoming its servant. Okay, so the whole process of yoga is indriya sanyam. Yoga means indriyon ka sanyam, control the senses. Manasavendriya gramam viniyam, viniyamya. Matlab the mind and the indriya and this whole range of senses have to be controlled. Therefore, the scriptures talk about all kinds of control, all kinds of regulation. It is to make us happy. You can see it for yourself now. Ab to proof ki bhi zarurat nahi hai. Just look around you. Look at your neighbors, your friends, your cousins. Look at your immediate family. All of them have a lifestyle of eating at exotic restaurants, holidaying at fancy places, employing anybody to come and cook for them, going wherever they want, getting up whenever they want, sleeping whenever they want. Are they happy? Everybody is talking about stress, how to reduce. The levels of stress are at, I think, of 500% today. 500%. And it has come down to children because of this unrestricted lifestyle of enjoyment. Whether it's online shopping, instant deliveries, Prabhupada, no. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing bhala na khaibe or bhala na paribe. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Ante Leela 6.236. Bhala na khaibe. Matlab prasad bhi palatable nahi khana hai. Prasad bhi things should not be made in the house just कि मैं बहुत exotic और indulgent food बना के कृष्ण को इसलिए खिलाऊं ताकि मुझे खाने को मिले. Regulate करो. बहुत exotic या भाला मतलब बहुत luxurious खाना नहीं है. आरा भाला न पाइबे. बहुत luxurious कपड़ों पे भी invest मत करो because you have to pay a big price for that. This mind will take control of you. And who wants a boss over you? None of us want to be bossed over, right? Does anybody want somebody to tell them all the time what to do, what not to do? We all want to be independent. We don't want a boss on our head. But this mind inside us is trying to take over our lives. So, bhala na khaibe or bhala na paribe. And if you can control speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, then you can defeat this boss who is telling you all the time to enjoy through the senses. And then you will become happy and peaceful. Nothing will be able to disturb you. Nothing. So this is a very, very important, in fact, these are secrets, which they have so mercifully written in books and opened for everyone. These are secrets. So regulation is actually to make us happy. Indulging the senses is not going to make us happy. It is going to get us cheated, get us exploited, and make our mind very, very agitated. And what's more, unsatisfied. More and more unsatisfied you will get the more you enjoy with these 6 senses. Therefore, we have such a high level of divorce today. People don't want to commit because their enjoyment is not giving them the satisfaction they need. I'll stop here. Was everybody able to hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Any realizations? I think we were able to do 3 verses, right? 24, 25, 20.
Right.
Right. चलो मैंने 28 तक किया था. That's okay. किसी को कुछ कहना है, कुछ पूछना है? Just I would request everyone to read this first verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or the Nectar of Instruction it's called. Vachuvekam, the first verse. Just read the entire purport that Prabhupada has given. And all these 3 verses are covered in that. So we have to become actually this verse is कि गुरु कैसे चुने? गुरु वो होता है जिसकी ये 6 की 6 इंद्रियां, ये वेगम, ये जो 6 वेग हैं, वो इनके जिसके कंट्रोल में है, उसी को हम गोस्वामी बोल सकते हैं. Goswami is not a hereditary title. कि बाप गोस्वामी तो बेटा भी गोस्वामी. No. Prabhupada very clearly explains, Goswami is a qualification. It's not a surname. जिसकी ये 6 इंद्रियां कंट्रोल में है, वो ही डिसाइपल्स बना सकता है, उसी को कहलाया जा सकता है, उसी को आप स्वामी बोल सकते हो, उसी को आप गोस्वामी बोल सकते हो. So you can imagine the whole of Vrindavan, all the pandas sitting in all these temples, including Banke Bihari, none of them are Goswamis. ये 6 की 6 इंद्रियां उनकी कंट्रोल में नहीं है. They are not fit to be called Goswamis. However, the sanctity of the deities remains, the potency remains. But these are not the people who can be called Goswamis. This is what Prabhupada is trying to make very clear, that these 6 Vegams, jinke control mein hai, he can be called a Guru, no one else. Any Guru in the world today cannot claim to be called a Guru if Vacho Vegam, Manasakrodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udarupastha Vegam is not, he has not become a master of these 6, he cannot be called a Guru. Okay? Any questions?
माता जी, आपने वर्स 24 में जो रिजिड प्रैक्टिशनर्स करके कहा था ना, व्हाट इज दैट एग्जैक्टली?
Rigid practitioners matlab serious devotee. People who do not make shortcuts. Agar bola hai 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, fish and eggs, no intoxication, including onion, garlic, tea, coffee, chocolate, caffeine, cocoa, उसको rigidly follow करेंगे तो success मिलेगा. You cannot be in between and then expect कितने 4 साल हो गए भक्ति भिक्षा करते हुए, अभी तक भी कोई रिजल्ट नहीं मिला, कहीं प्रोग्रेस ही नहीं हुए, कुछ किया ही नहीं हमने तो. If you do not follow the instructions of the saints of the parampara as they are telling you, you will not get results because this is the process. ये एक रेसिपी है. अब रेसिपी आपको दी बनाने के लिए कि पाई ऐसे बनेगी, उसमें आपको 6 इंग्रेडिएंट्स बोले और आप बोलोगे अरे 4 डालती हूँ ना, 2 नहीं डालेंगे तो भी चलेगा, तो देन यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग वैसा ही पाई का टेस्ट मिले, कैसे चलेगा? जो रेसिपी बताई है, you will have to cook it exactly according to the recipe. अगर बोला है कि इसको 5 मिनट तक धीमी आंच पे पकाना है और आप हाई फ्लेम पे 1 मिनट के अंदर उसको कुक करना चाहते हो, will you get the taste? पेशेंस और परसिवरेंस देना ही पड़ेगा. अगर लिखा है वहां इंस्ट्रक्शंस में इसको 10 मिनट देना है धीरे धीरे पकाने के लिए, तो 10 मिनट मतलब पेशेंस और परसिवरेंस देना ही पड़ेगा उस डिश को कुक करने के लिए. तो ये भक्ति का भी एक प्रोसेस है. इसका रिजल्ट है कंप्लीट फ्रीडम फ्रॉम ऑल रेसिपीज, फ्रॉम ऑल डिजास्टर्स, मेंटल एंड फिजिकल, कंप्लीट फ्रीडम फ्रॉम एंजाइटी, कंप्लीट फ्रीडम फ्रॉम दिस मटेरियल लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स. But you have to follow the process. Rigidly follow करना पड़ेगा. No shortcuts, no ifs and buts. Otherwise, पहले भी दुखी थे, अभी दुखी रहोगे, then continue. Why are you expecting different results? दुख ही मिलेगा. ये भी बता रहा है शास्त्र, अगर नहीं फॉलो किया तो आपके लिए आगे दुख ही है, गारंटी. So it is in our best interest to start now when we are still young, when we have so much guidance around us, to start and follow the process sincerely. उत्साह, निश्चय, धैर्य. पहले तो enthusiasm होना चाहिए, उत्साह होना चाहिए, बहुत जरूरी है. निश्चय, डिटर्मिनेशन होना चाहिए, हाँ मैं करूंगी. एंड धैर्य, पेशेंस होना चाहिए फॉर द रिजल्ट टू कम. कुकिंग में टाइम लगता है, नहीं बना सकते आप ढोकला और इडली जल्दी से. इसको जो टाइम लगेगा उतना ही टाइम लगेगा. तो आपको परसिवरेंस और पेशेंस दिखाना ही पड़ेगा, लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम वहां खड़ा रहना पड़ेगा, डिटर्मिनेशन दिखाना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू स्टैंड. गर्मी है तो भी रसोई में खड़े रहना है, फ्लेम को कम ज्यादा करने के लिए. और उसके पहले उत्साह, एक्साइटमेंट होना चाहिए वो कुक करने के लिए. हाँ आज मुझे बनाना है. वो एक्साइटमेंट नहीं होगा तो जाओगे ही नहीं रसोई में. So you need all three even for cooking. उत्साह, निश्चयात, धैर्य, तभी खाना स्वाद बनता है. Do all the mothers agree?
Yes, Mataji.
Agree.
Shortcut food will give shortcut taste also. वो आपकी फैमिली आपको बता देगी. So कोई भी चीज ले लो आप, चाहे वो कुकिंग है, चाहे वो एक नया स्किल है, कुछ सीखना है, चाहे वो जॉब है, स्टडीज है, सब में ये तीन चीज चाहिए. उत्साह, निश्चयात, धैर्य. स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में क्यों फिर नहीं चाहिए इसको? Why leave it out of spiritual life, out of Bhagwad Gita classes, out of Bhakti Yoga? हाँ भी चाहिए, रिजल्ट क्योंकि सबको चाहिए. Anything else?
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
for
Vanita. एक minute.
yes.
What we had done last time. So yesterday I was going through that text 20 to 23. तो उसमें जैसे you had come straight onto the last paragraph, as long as the material body exists. I tried reading before that का बिल्कुल कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. Patanjali system and all that. बिल्कुल कुछ समझा. So honestly I left it. And then I read up the last paragraph only जो आपने कराई थी. So is that okay?
Is this Anjali?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes.
Verse number Anjali are you talking about?
Text 20 to 23 जो last time where we had stopped. ठीक है? So उसका purport was very long ना, तो you started only with that last paragraph as long as the material body exists.
Yeah, you are saying that those 2 pages नहीं समझे?
Yeah. I tried reading that, but honestly बिल्कुल कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. Patanjali system and all कुछ नहीं समझा. So I also left it and I just read up the last paragraph.
Book will be for everyone.
Okay.
Now, verse number, ये चारों वर्स इकट्ठे ही लिखे हैं. 20, 21, 22, 23.
Right.
Everybody has to read 20 to 23. Purport जिसका है, read it thoroughly and I will ask each one of you what you have understood. Then I will explain. ठीक है?
Okay.
ये भी वर्स हम कर लेंगे in addition to the other verses 27, 28. वो भी हम करेंगे और इस वर्स को दोबारा कर लेंगे, but all of you have to read it. ठीक है? Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. Thank you so much for your patience today. All of you showed all 3 characteristics today. Utsaha to come for class, then determination to keep staying there although the class is not starting, and then patience with so much internet problem, and now the way we are conducting the class, you have exhibited all 3. ऐसे ही करना है. Bhakti Yoga. This is only Bhakti Yoga. So you have already done it today, showed it practically. So it shows that all of you are doing it and you can. That's good news. That's good. हरि बोल।
हरि बोल माता
Hari
जी।
bol,
Hare
Hari
Bol.
bol,
हरि बोल माता जी, हरि बोल।
Hari bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
तो
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
ग्रुप
you.
में डाल देना, क्योंकि अनु जैसे बीच में छोड़ गई, चल उसको जाना था अभी 2 मिनट
हाँ।
पहले ही। तो जो हमने
हाँ।
होमवर्क बोला है ना, वो होमवर्क आप ग्रुप में डाल देना।
I'll do that. मैंने कोई और चीज भी शायद डाली है ग्रुप पे।
हाँ, वो
हाँ,
लेक्चर
read text one of Nectar of Instruction.
Read text one
ऑफ नेक्टर ऑफ
Of Nectar of Instruction.
मैंने कुछ और भी डाला है।
वो तो वीडियो डाला है वीडियो।
कि वो एक रिकॉर्डिंग सुनी।
lecture. Everybody has
हाँ।
to hear that. Lecture
हाँ।
के बहुत सारे practical tips हैं on how to live. So it's going to help all of us make some lifestyle changes, practical changes. So I want each one of you to hear that lecture, और 2 point होने चाहिए उसमें अलग, ये नहीं कि जिसने जो लिखा है सबका एक जैसा ही point होगा. I mean, what I'm saying is all of you will note down 2 points from that lecture that you think you can make a change in your life, or what you've understood from that lecture. ठीक है?
Okay.
Yeah. I have taken a particular seva, so that is why I'm passing on the same thing to you. हमारा एक भक्ति विक्षा लीडर्स का ग्रुप है जिसमें रामभद्र प्रभु ने एक लेक्चर डाला परसों, and he asked all the leaders कि ये बहुत ही अच्छा important lecture है. I want one of you to read this whole lecture, make notes, detailed notes, and post it on the group for the benefit of all the other leaders. So immediately I raised my hand कि मैं करूँगी ये काम, because I know कि मुझे time निकालना पड़ेगा. It's very difficult. और सिर पे ले लो या commit कर दो तो फिर वो चीज होती है, नहीं तो नहीं होती. So even though I am so hard pressed for time, I raised my hand and I am able to do it. थोड़ा बहुत मैंने उसमें शुरू कर लिया है काम. I still have time. Therefore, I thought I will do this, use the same thing with all of you. कि जब काम मिल जाता है तो उसके लिए समय भी निकल आता है. ठीक है?
थैंक यू माता जी।
All right. Hari bol. Thank you very much for your presence today.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
वाचा कल्पतरु कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितानां
कृष्ण नमो नमः।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
जय जय श्री राधे.
Radhe.
हाँ,
Sham.
हरि बोल.
हरि बोल, हरे कृष्ण।